I won't bring Zeno. The session as Zeno Liski. No, this one a woman. No. Someone say jackpot for the kids and security. Not necessarily. Nigeria no bad like that. My children don't even want jackpot. Jackpot for the money. I mean, they force them to jackpot. They like Nigeria. I don't know why. Zeno Ojobo, not Zeno Linsky. I'm not gonna calm down. Zeno, baby, a very fine mama. How are you doing?
I'm good, Daddy Freeze.
You see.
And how are you? Good evening, everybody, or good night in Nigeria. I don't even know how to greet. How do they greet in the middle of the night?
Good night, good evening.
Okay.
You see, with all that was happening, especially with the youth, I was like, the best person to come and talk to Nigerians at this time was Zeno. Zeno Jobu. Let me be adding your son name because you get one Zeno where they find for Nigeria now.
It's not me, oh. I'm a woman. I'm not a musician.
And you see, a lot of people don't know how to jackpot. A lot of people are stuck in Nigeria without understanding how to go about it, and they are running from agent to agent. Agent don't clean now. Especially people where they do jackpot agent now. I know one jackpot agent right now. He just buy 3 house last month.
Oh wow.
People they enter their mugu. As in at this stage, oh no. People they enter their trap steady. So the problem is, how do you jackpot? Me, I was even thinking as a person, I want to see how I can help what's her name, because that's what her sister even asked me for. Mohbad's wife. How we can help her jackpot is priority on my agenda. I've been trying to reach the sister. That's why I'm not making this about her, because I've not been able to reach the sister. I actually wanted to make this live about her and ask, what does she need to jackpot?
Oh.
You understand?
Yeah. Well, for most people, the people that I work with, and that's exactly how I came to Canada, if you have like a bachelor's degree or HND, I know that in Nigeria, HND is now equivalent to a bachelor's degree. So bachelor's degree or HND, then it makes it easy for you to relocate abroad. And the beauty of studying abroad especially, because for people that are very familiar with how relocation processes work, they expect you to have like proof of funds, substantial amount of money in your bank account for you to show as proof of funds. The study part, if you are relocating to study, is also a requirement. However, it is only when you are going to study abroad that you can use other people's money as proof of funds. And I'll give an example. When I say other people's money, there are opportunities like scholarships, and there are opportunities like study loans. And you are able to get these opportunities and use it to relocate. For example, for me, when I was trying to relocate from Nigeria, then I've shared this story before, but maybe some people are tired of hearing about it.
Please share it. Nobody can be tired at this stage.
There are some people here that are new. I would like to say that I was one of those lucky people that straight out of university, I got a job in an oil servicing company. This was 2012. In an oil servicing company, Baker Hughes then, straight out of university. So this was the only job that I interviewed for. In fact, I got the job when I was a youth corper. They now waited for me to graduate to resume. So once I dropped my khaki on a Friday, on Monday I'd resume work in a multinational company. Like, it was the best thing that happened to me in my life.
I know one of my guys that worked there. Happy Friday.
Yeah. I never even expected it. You remember there was a time where they had, what's that thing that they called it? The time that there was a labor strike, NLC strike. That time that we're at home for you during the week and on the weekend.
Big Spence, I greet you.
So it was during that period, I sat down in front of my computer and I Googled oil companies in Nigeria, and I applied to all of them. Luckily for me, that Baker Hughes one, they called me. And straight out of university, somebody asking what I studied, I did my bachelor's degree in chemical engineering. During my youth service, that was when I interviewed and I got the job. That was the only job that I interviewed for. So I started working there. Baker is a good company. Like I'm not even going to lie. I enjoyed the place when I was working there. And of course, they have training school in Dubai. Once I left Nigeria for the first time and I went to Dubai. And then I realized that so life can be like this, where like no power failure, the system is working, and that's the first time. And I started thinking about it that maybe I should relocate abroad. But then again, I also had a decent job back home, and I had career prospects, and there was a plan for you to grow and whatnot. So I was happy, I enjoyed my job. Then in 2016, I don't know if people remember, oil price dropped. Once the oil price dropped, that was firing, people started losing their jobs left, right, center.
I remember the
companies.
What is it called? There was now a recession.
Yes. In fact, yeah. It's like this thing is replaying itself because it's like now again. So that was when I lost that job. I never expected it that it freeze. Like I didn't think that, sometimes you feel like, okay, we knew that something was coming, but I did not expect that it was just going to happen. It just happened. Anyways, I've had to activate Japa, and I'll tell you why. Once people were losing jobs, I tried to apply, like use my contacts. Now I build network, call my network, try to look for other opportunities. But everywhere, all the industries, they were laying off their staff. And people were not laying off their staff because their staff is not good or something. It's because they were all downsizing. So if companies are downsizing, where am I going to? Nobody was going to hire me. So that was the end of that thing. That was when I realized that, in fact, I was slowly going through depression. It was a day to my birthday, 2016. I still remember clearly, July 15th. I was sad, unhappy. What am I going to do next? Is this Lagos that we are living where everything is expensive? I looked inside my bank account. This savings that I had was not going to last me anything. It was not going to last me 6 months. Like I will wake up in this Lagos. So that was when I activated Japa. Because I looked at it, if I'm not going to get a job in the next 6 months, I run out of my savings. What's the plan for me? And then I started looking for other opportunities, and I activated my Japa plan. When I started looking for, of course, that you said something about agents, and I like to say it here, not all agents are bad. They have bad agents and they have good agents. Good agents will tell you, I'll get you admission, they will get admission for you. And when I started, I also went to meet an agent. Of course, agent got me admission. I was so excited when I got the admission. It was like, see me, see abroad, see me, see Canada. But that my excitement was quickly cut short when I read through the offer letter and I saw the amount of school fees. That time, in 2016, the school fees was around $7,500 per term. So that's per term. It means a year is around 21,000. Yeah, I see this money. $21,000.
How many terms do they have? Is it not 2 terms or is it 3 terms?
In Canada, it's 3 terms per year.
Yay!
Yeah. So I'm like, where I want to see this money. So it's like going from excitement to no excitement again. Like that was the end. Then there's something that struck me. I remember that when I was in Uniben, then I had a lot of my friends after school that went abroad to do masters. For many of them, I knew their financial position. So I know that it's not this money that they are saying you used to pay school fees. Many of them did not have it. How did they now do it? Yeah, so I contacted some people and they're like, yeah, they got scholarships. I'm like, okay, so it's possible to get scholarships. So I already packed that aside that it's possible to get scholarship. I have admission, I couldn't claim it. I needed to start looking for scholarship. And of course, I'm like, okay, if it's scholarship, let's be applying. And I know how to do things. I'm a doer. Let's be applying for this scholarship. Let's apply for scholarship. I'm getting rejection left, right, center. What's going on here? Why are they rejecting me like this? Then one day, I contacted somebody to help me review my application documents. And the person looked at my statement of purpose. And it's one of the documents used to apply. And the person was like, this your statement of purpose looks like a Facebook post. Is this for Facebook? That's when I realized that, okay, I've been wasting my time here. Wasting my time and wasting the other people's time too, like the admissions committee time. Then one day I also was listening to one of those things on Facebook where they said that, it was a business training stuff, and they were like, yeah, you need to be able to market yourself to your customers so that they can buy what you are selling. So I now thought about it. Okay, if I have this my degree and I want to sell these people this my degree, I have to market this my certificate and my degree in such a way that these people want to invest in me for them to give me scholarship. Once I thought about that, I now began to do my applications in a different way with a different mindset. And all I was looking for was just 1 year. I just need somebody to say yes to me. And University of Waterloo came calling. I will forever be grateful for that day that that offer came. It was unbelievable. So I was able to relocate to Canada with my 2-year-old. And that my 2-year-old is now 9. He's 9 years. He turned 9 in August. So, in fact, that relocation, after we came to Canada, that's another story for another day. But yeah, so basically, the scholarships are possible. And the beauty of relocating abroad using like scholarships or other forms of funding or even like study loans, because the organizations that give international students study loans, is that it allows you to, it creates a level ground for everybody. In those days, it's only people that their parents are very wealthy, or people that their husbands are very rich, or even people that they are very rich themselves, that will be able to go and study abroad. Like you must hold your side very well. But these days, because of scholarships, it has created a level ground for everybody where people that are able to diligently apply and continue to push to do the work and outcompete the competition. You must be ready to outcompete the competition. Then you'll be successful. This is what I tell everybody. And one thing, because I've met a lot of people, especially people that study biochemistry and microbiology, these people, they complain a lot. And I cannot blame them because I understand their complaints. Many of them get out of school and they're not able to get a job in their field. Especially those people that study microbiology and biochemistry. They are the people that are always in my DM complaining how they cannot get a job. And I understand their frustration. Why? Because, of course, where they live, there's a lot of unemployment, right? So it's living in a place that allows the youth to be able to thrive. To be able to thrive, it's a place where people want to be, because you just don't want to exist. You don't want to live from hand to mouth, not knowing what's next for you. So it's living in a country with a system that works gives people, or it gives you, the opportunity to thrive and to live well. And this is what having a system does. And this is the opportunity that Japa gives to people. And I've seen so many people, so many families, like their life has changed, their stories have changed, opportunities that they never thought that they would have ever had in their current situation, as they now have all of these opportunities. So this is what I tell people, and this is the message that I preach, right? So yeah, somebody said if you are in your 40s, that they are fighting in the comment section. What's going on here?
Leave them. I'm trying to look at it through another phone. Ignore them. Let me turn off. I wish I can leave only Big Spence. Only Big Spence has sense today. All of you are listen. You see, my problem with Nigerians is between when Zeno came the last time and now, some people don't jackpot. You still they cry. Oh, Nigeria is bad. What if Mohbad was abroad? This would not have happened to him. One day, they are telling you of how to go to the abroad. You are saying, what if? Nobody will really worry you. They are saying, this is how. Listen, she knows how to do it. Of course, at the end of the day, I always like to give disclaimer because that's how some people come. They will not get their papers. You see, if you notice, they did not talk about WAEC. If you get WAEC results, Zeno, can you help with WAEC results?
No, so there are other people that can help people that have WAEC results, but me, I don't work with people that have WAEC results. You must have a bachelor's degree or HND minimum.
Bachelor's degree or HND. Zeno is not for those that they sent to school and decided to go and be cutting class and did not finish university. There are people who can help dropouts and those who did not have the opportunity to fund or finish their education. But today, if you are a dropout, just drop out of this life. It's not for you. If you are a dropout, drop out. No vex. And also, because I remember one situation, one guy where they do car wash, now so into one Japa, in can go look for Zeno. In no, you see, when you hear Japa, all of you they watch, you where they fry akara for roadside, you get degree for akara frying from your mama where they said the akara before you. Automatically now you won't carry akara degree, go, it's not you they are looking for. They are specifically looking for those of you who have at least a qualification, at least, be it bachelors of arts, bachelors of science, HND, not OND, not teacher training college, HND, minimum. At least you go school, you come out. So please, I'm going to open up the comment section just in case you have questions, because this is the best time to actually think. There are 1,600 people watching us live right now, and there's no better time to actually reevaluate why you are staying in Nigeria than when $1 is 1,000 naira. Let me break it down to you. I walk into McDonald's and I spend 20 pounds burger and drinks for me and my wife. It's about what we spend in Nando's when we go to Nando's. That's 20k.
Yeah.
20,000 naira. Sorry, 22,000 naira, because pound is more expensive than dollar.
Yeah.
It is 22k to you living in Nigeria. It is still 20 pounds to those living abroad. Anytime in my family now, they say we should donate money. If they say everybody should donate 30,000, my sisters are happy because 30,000 is nothing to them abroad.
Yeah.
They just, so one day I just did it for all my abroadarian family members. I say, hey, right now, we measure it. I calculated one formula. I forgot how I said it.
In percentage, you should do in percentage.
In percentage. Baba, abroad people change that for me. I say, it's okay. Go and bring the money. You are earning dollars and pounds. So this is that year when you should be earning in dollars and pounds. If you can earn in dollars and pounds in Nigeria from abroad, you're good, bro.
Yeah.
But you where they work for secretariat, they're not gonna pay you dollar. You where they work for Nigerian bank, even if you are head of the forex department, they will not pay you in dollars. So you are thinking of Canadian dollars, you're thinking of British pounds, you're thinking of US dollars, and how you can bring those into the equation. This is the time when you should start having those conversations. And Zeno is here. And you are especially better off if you had a degree or you have a degree. Zeno, how do they get in touch with you? If you're watching on TikTok, double click the screen. Double click the screen if you're watching on TikTok. How do they get in touch with you for a time like this?
Okay, so my DM is open. You can find me at Zeno Ojogbo. That is ZINO.
Just say hi. Let me pin your handle.
Okay, yeah, so that they can see me. Hi. Okay, yeah. So that's my.
Zeno says, what about, somebody says, what about, that's her handle, Zeno Ojogbo. It is pinned. Send her a DM now. Somebody said, what about diploma in nursing? Let's talk about that.
So diploma in nursing, is it like a 2-year program? Is it a 3-year program? I know that this nursing, they have different kind of degrees. But the people that I'll be able to work with are people that have bachelors in nursing. Because I know that they have people with bachelor's degree in nursing. So people that have bachelors in nursing. There are other pathways for people with different kind of nursing degrees to relocate. But I don't have experience in those pathways. But if anybody that has a bachelor's degree in nursing, they can do their master's or their PhD abroad on scholarships.
So what Zeno is trying to sell to you is a scholarship to take you abroad, not Japa. How you can apply to Canadian universities and get a scholarship that will pay you to go to school. This one not be for artists, oh. This one not be for those people who want to run. No. You are going abroad with the view to further your education. Now your route, now your road, now your bush path where you want to enter the abroad be that. You are jackpotting through furthering education. We get people this night to 1,621 people.
Wow, a lot, yeah. Yeah.
So a lot of people are asking about OND. What is your take on that?
Okay, so let me quickly explain how these scholarship opportunities and other, so there are scholarships, they have other funding opportunities. Let me explain how it works, and this is the reason why, like OND is not equivalent to a bachelor's degree or even HND. So these opportunities that I'm talking about will not work for them. So let me explain how it works. Like for me, as a PhD candidate, I'm a PhD candidate at the University of Waterloo. I'm doing my PhD in chemical engineering. My research is on biopolymers. Now, I am working with a professor, doing my research under his supervision. So he provides a lab where I do my work. My research is fully experimental. He provides all the materials. I go, I do the research, do the findings. I write a paper, we publish it. My name and his name will go on the paper. In the process, as I'm doing this research, I get a thesis. Now, because I am working for this professor, he pays me from his research grants. So he has research grants, and from his research grants, he pays me. And from the money he pays me, I pay my tuition fee out of that money, and the remaining one, I have it as living expense. So this is how it works. This opportunity I talked about is not available for undergraduates. Another opportunity that people can have is to work as a research assistant. That's what I just described, as a teaching assistant or a graduate assistant. It means that you are filling different roles in the university. These universities are broad, they cannot function without graduate students because they need them to fill specific roles, graduate assistantships, and working in admin roles in the library, working in the hostels, those administrative roles. They need them to work there. You also need them as teaching assistants to support a professor that teaches a class, maybe with marking, with invigilating exams. So they use graduate students for these things. And for some of them, especially in schools like in the US, for example, if you get a graduate assistantship or a teaching assistantship position, you probably get like a tuition waiver where you don't have to pay tuition. Then they pay you monthly stipends as well because you are working. So this is how these funding opportunities come about. So these opportunities are only available for people that are doing masters and PhD. And for you to get into a master's or a PhD program, you need a bachelor's degree. So this is why I'm only talking to people that have a minimum of a bachelor's degree. So I hope I've been able to explain it. Okay. Yeah. Somebody saying talk about when you are 40 years already. There is this lady, she's 52 years. She just came to Canada. She started at school this September. 52 years old. In fact, her motivation to come to Canada is because her first child is in a university in Canada as an undergraduate. Her motivation is that she wants to be close to her children because the younger ones are now upcoming. Very soon they will be like going to university. She wants to be close to her children. At that age, the easiest way for her to be able to relocate to Canada is via the study pathway. So she took it. 52 years old. She got admission, she got her visa, and now she's studying in Canada. And she's close to her son, who is also an undergraduate in Canada too. So, yeah, the study pathway is the only relocation pathway that doesn't have age restriction. Or like other relocation pathways that they'll tell you that your age is a factor. Yeah, in the study pathway is the only pathway that doesn't have age restriction. So, yeah. So, whatever your age is, you'll find. Some people would say, I have study gap. Even if you have study gap, it works for you. So people are laughing. 52 years. Go and check my post. You see the testimonials there. Go and check on my Instagram page. So anybody can go to school, really. Education, there's no age for you to say, yes, at this age you cannot go to school again, because learning is continuous.
Now, let us talk about, you get the admission. You go to the school. What next? Because a lot of people are worried about that in Canada. And I have a lot of people who are in the UK. They are graduating next year. They went for their masters. And when they graduate, what next? Are they going to be bundled back home?
Okay, that's a very good question. And this is why it's important that we have to be deliberate about the country that we are going to relocate. Again, like what I tell my people is that you need to first of all decide what you are going for. There are some people that all they want to do is just get a degree and go back home, maybe because they have a job waiting for them somewhere, or they have a business they want to go and open, or they want to go and manage, so they just want the degree to go back. Good and fine, people are like that. But there's some other people that their intention is to use the studying pathway as a pathway to relocate permanently. That was my goal when I was coming to Canada to study. It was a pathway for me to relocate permanently. Now, I chose Canada because I know that Canada has different pathways to permanent residence for international students. So for me, once I finished my study, in fact, before I started studying, I had already mapped out my pathway to permanent residence. So I already knew what I was doing. I came to Canada in 2017. In 2019, I became a permanent resident. In 2019, by when was it? Early this year, right? Yeah, 2023. Yes, early this year, I got my Canadian citizenship. So it was like a 5-year journey for me from international student to Canadian citizen. And you find that if you see the same trend with most international students as well in Canada. They go from international students to PR in like 2 years or 3 years. Somebody's saying that because you got married. Okay, when I became a permanent resident of Canada, I was still married to my Nigerian ex-husband.
Hey.
So for these people that are saying, because some people will come and say, yes, you got married to Igbo, that's how you became a permanent resident. I was still, me and my ex-husband, we got our permanent residence together. And I did that when once I finished my master's degree. So as soon as I proposal.
So did you go with your ex-husband to?
That the freeze there, this story is very complicated. It's very, really, really very complicated. But we came to Canada separately. But you know how relationships are, where you people separate and then you come and you're like, okay, just work it out, make things work, you can make it work, try. And then we got together and we tried. And at that time, we were still navigating our relocation process as well. So we came separately, but we got back together, did our applications and whatnot, because he was my dependent here in Canada. So, yeah.
Now, let's talk about safety in Canada. We're all aware of what happened to Mohbad in Nigeria. Can something like that happen in Canada?
Well, yeah, it can happen, but if something like this had happened in Canada with all the videos that were going all over the place, I know that the police would have swung into action like immediately. That was what with the videos, it was enough evidence for them to bring people in for questioning. But I saw that in this case, influencers, celebrities, bloggers had to start dragging, police, drag this, drag that before they come and make official case first. Like, it just reminded me of that George Floyd, when it happened to George Floyd. It was the video that circulated on the internet that they used to take action. Based on the video that circulated on the internet, action was taken. And this is what would have happened in Canada too. And again, I also remember that that the victim in question had also like submitted like a police report reporting the assault, and I think that was in June. I saw it on social media. That was in June. Like, all of these things would have at least ended, because with assault they take it seriously, and the police will come into action and maybe give somebody what's that thing that they call, like, you should not come
Restraining
close to
order.
the other person. Exactly, like a restraining order or something, that it would have ended it would have put an end to it at that time. But yeah, nothing was done. They didn't take it seriously, and even after it happened, it seems like it was the bloggers, celebrities, influencers didn't have to start dragging people and fighting here and there on Twitter. I saw this thing on Twitter. I was just all over the place. Like, even me, I've not even slept well because I need
We all
therapy.
haven't.
Yeah.
We've all really struggled. I was watching Very Dark Black Man today, who now said they should go and do DNA for the son of Mohbad. I'm like, wow, where
Yeah.
this matter can't turn go now. So it
Exactly.
just shows the decadence in the Nigerian society. Now, I want to ask you a question, coming back to why we are here, because we are still going to keep talking about this Mobad issue, and whatever happens, we are going to keep trying to get justice for him. However, I want to ask a question, because today the theme is education and using education as a path out of Nigeria. I want to ask, are there some courses that are better than others? Are there some courses that, because somebody's asking, what about civil engineering? Are engineering students better off? Are art students better off? Is there a preference for any particular field? Please
Okay.
go
Yeah.
ahead.
So there are opportunities for everybody. Like, there are opportunities for every field. Abroad is not like Nigeria. They do a lot of research here, a lot of research. And every field has opportunities for research. They also have like open scholarships as well, that these scholarships are open to everybody. An example is like Commonwealth, for example, is open to everybody. Any course, come and apply. They have those kind of scholarships. And they have the institutional scholarships. These scholarships are, you hold them in the institution. So an example is like me, that I have funding with University of Waterloo. I cannot just decide tomorrow and say, you know what, I'm tired of Waterloo. I don't want Waterloo again. I want to go and school. I want to go to University of Toronto. I can make that decision, but I leave my funding behind. My funding will not go with me, because my scholarship is tied to the institution. I must hold it in the institution. So most schools have different departments. So there's arts, there's science, there's social science. They would have funding for these programs. Now, somebody's asking, like, for civil engineering, are there funding opportunities? Of course, there are lots of funding opportunities for civil engineering. I know for sure that University of Waterloo, for example, their civil engineering department is heavily funded. So even people that are in that department, their funding is higher than me, that is in chemical engineering, for example. So, like, they are funding for everybody. I know some people that have worked with me, they've got funding for education, for communication studies, English. There's one lady from Cameroon. Her background is in French, and she got her funding for French studies and inter something something, whatever it's called, because it's a long sentence. So yeah, there are opportunities. There are opportunities for everyone. So yeah, art, science, social science, agriculture, name it. Agriculture is also big here too. Environment. Yeah. So
Guys, keep your questions coming. Keep your questions coming. Remember, her handle is at Zeno Ojogbo. Zino, not like Zinoleski. Zinoojogbo.
Yeah. So let me see. Yeah, somebody's asking for finance. Yeah, the opportunities for finance. There's one guy from Ghana. Hakim is his name. This guy got all the scholarships. Like the scholarships that this person got, and he has a bachelor's degree in accounting. He's a Ghanaian. He has a bachelor's degree in accounting. And he got like 3 scholarships in Canada, 2 in the US, 1 in Italy, like a lot. When I saw all of his offers, I was wishing that, because you can't take all, at the end of the day, we only take one. So I was just wishing, like, I wish we could like pass. It was in our power for us to say, okay, you don't want this one, let's give it to this person and let's give it to that person. And this person, his background is in, I think accounting is like social science. Is that not what you people are? Accountants, please help me. Yeah, I think it's social science. So I'm just trying to give this example to let us know that there are funding opportunities. Now I'm going to say something here, because so many people will now come to my DM and say, you're the expert, come and do scholarship application for me. So I do not do scholarship applications for anybody. In fact, anybody that wants a scholarship, the applicant has to do the application themselves. Speak to anybody that has secured scholarships anywhere in the world. They'll tell you, the applicant, you have to do your scholarship application by yourself, because there's a lot that goes into this application and nobody can do it better than you. If you are looking for somebody that will do your application for you, you are better off going to find a decent agent that will do it for you. But agents cannot apply for scholarships for you. Agents will help you get admission, and then you have to pay your school fees from your bank account, or maybe have somebody to sponsor you and you pay your school fees. So just so that people don't get, because some people come and meet me and say, you said on that the freeze live session that you will do scholarship application for us. I'm saying it here again. I do not do scholarship application for anybody. I will teach you how to do it, provide you with the resources, samples, templates, like the things you need to know, so that you know what good looks like, so that you know exactly what you are doing. Because if you don't know what good looks like, what I see that most people do is that they go on the internet and maybe they're trying to prepare a scholarship essay or a document for their scholarship, and they go on the internet, they just go and copy something from there. In fact, that's an academic offense. Plagiarism, what you have done, is an academic offense. If you are there's somebody that he has even gotten to the US on scholarship to do his PhD. It was later, after he even started his program, they now realized that some of his application documents, he had copied them straight off the internet, that he freezed. They canceled his admission, canceled his scholarship, canceled his visa, and sent him back home. That is how bad it is. So, if you go on the internet to copy, you don't even know if the person that used that and if it works, or who even put that in there, right? At the end of the day, I normally tell people, because people say, doing scholarship application is a lot of work, I cannot do it. I normally tell people that, see, you have 2 options. It's either you put in the effort that you need to apply for scholarship, because nobody's going to drop $20,000, $25,000, $30,000 on your lap. Nobody's going to do that. The money comes from somewhere. Most of these institutional scholarships, they come from taxpayers' money. It comes from somewhere. Nobody's going to drop it on your lap. You can either put in the effort and do that work, or if you feel like applying for scholarship is too much work for you, perhaps you have a job that you are doing. Maybe you work in the bank. You're not wearing a shirt. Don't come here. If you want to come down, wear a shirt. Maybe you work in a bank, or you have a business that you are doing. You can do the work in that your business, get the money that you need from your business, and go and pay the school. However way you slice it, you are either doing the work to apply for a scholarship, or you are doing the work in your business or at your job to raise the money to pay for the scholarship, to pay for your school fees. So these are your options at the end of the day. So you have to weigh them. There's some people that they don't even have that money. I asked somebody yesterday that if you were to work at your job currently now, and let's say you need $20,000 for your tuition abroad, and this is your current job at your current salary, if you are to work at that job and you are saving 100% of your salary, which is not possible because you have to pay your living expenses, how many years will it take you for you to work $20,000 that you'll be able to use to pay your tuition fees abroad? The person said 9 years. For some people too, it will even be up to 20 years. It depends on how much the person is earning. And the current exchange rate, it's a lot. So now imagine that you now put in that effort and you don't have to wait 9 years. You learn how to apply for these opportunities, how to find them, how to apply for them, how to secure multiple, how to prepare your documents, and you have a system. Because at the phrase, I'm going to tell these people here today that it's a volume game. It's just like when you're applying for a job, you do multiple applications for you to get a job. It's a volume game. Volume. The more applications you do, the higher your chances are. Because think about the population in India, think about the population in China, think about the population in the rest of the world. All of these people are also doing the application. So you have to outcompete the competition. Then it now also means that you have to submit multiple scholarship applications. And again, like I said, all you need is just 1 year. When you get that 1 year, it's like your life will just change for the better, because you are now open to a lot of opportunities that perhaps maybe you may not have. There's this lady from South Africa. She used our framework and she was able to secure scholarship, $41,000. And she came with her husband and her 2 children. She's from South Africa, $41,000 per year. And I remember when I was talking to her, because she seemed to be doing well. She works in the pharmaceutical industry in South Africa, and she's also a fitness coach. That's a side hustle. She's a fitness coach. But she used her side hustle as a fitness coach for her to apply for this PhD, and she got the admission and scholarship using her side hustle. So I asked her, like, I know that South Africans, many of them don't relocate because their country is good. So many South Africans don't relocate. Say good evening, sir, to that difference.
Can I have some ice cream?
You're eating ice cream this night. Did you ask me? Okay, go. This is my son that I came to Canada with. He was 2 years old when we came. Today he's 9 years old.
Happy birthday, Zeno Jr.
Say thank you and go.
Thank you.
Bye.
Wow.
Yeah. So I asked
so you gave him so you came with him at 2.
Yes, he was 2 years old when we came. Yeah.
Did your scholarship cover him?
Okay, so my scholarship did not cover him. Now, for him, I had to show an extra $4,000 as proof of funds for him. So what I did at that time was that I asked my older brother to give me his bank statement. So my older brother supported me with his bank statement, and we wrote a letter to say that he's going to make the money available for him, and that's what I did. When we came, he was 2 years old. It means that school here in Ontario starts at 4. He couldn't go to school. He had to go to daycare. My University of Waterloo, provided me with daycare bursary, and they were giving me $2,000 every term, and I used that money in addition to my scholarship. So I had scholarship, and they gave me additional daycare bursary. This is bursary that they had put aside for international students and even other domestic students that don't have enough money for childcare. So I applied, and they gave it to me, and they were giving me $2,000 every time, and I used that to pay for the daycare for him at that time. This was in 2017. So he's smiling. You and this boy, we have come a long way. It's not easy. Me and my son, we are very close because we have really come a long way. Everywhere I've been, he has been everywhere with me.
Now, let us talk about people who have children. What's your advice? People who have children, like, because I'm asking all these questions especially for Mohbad's wife. I've been trying to search for her sister's email or contact. What's the best thing to do for someone that has a child or children?
Okay, so for somebody that has children, now if they get funding, in most cases the funding will not cover their children. These days they have organizations that give loans to international students. An example is Empower. So they give loans to international students for them to study. So you can bring your dependents and use that loan as your proof of funds. So, like for me, I said my brother gave me bank statement. Some other persons may not have somebody that has money in their account to give them bank statement. So you can use loans as your proof of funds. Then also tell parents that are coming with their children, see, that the freeze. When I left Nigeria and came to Nigeria, I had a house help. When I came to Canada, I received the shock of my life, where you have to do everything by yourself. So I normally tell people that when you are relocating with family, be it your spouse, be it your children, as you are planning for yourself, you're also planning for them too. Because it's not easy for you to pack up your life from a place that you know and go and start somewhere else if you don't have a plan. So, like for me, one of the reasons why I really wanted to go to University of Waterloo at that time is because I'd already seen, I checked other schools as well. I'd seen it that University of Waterloo gives childcare bursary. And I know that there are some other schools that do that, but Waterloo was now my choice because I'd seen that, okay, this place, I'll be able to raise my son in this place. It's a good place for me to raise children. It's close to the big cities, like 1 hour from Toronto. So if I need to be in the big city, I can easily drive there. It's close for me. I had family here in Ontario. And then plus all the other opportunities that I had as well, I decided that, okay, I was going to come here. And luckily for me, I got the funding in Waterloo. I would tell people that you need to do your research and do your homework. When you relocate abroad with kids, it's not going to be a walk in the park. There are days that you'll be frustrated, especially if you don't have help, you don't have any support. Like for me, for the first year, it was just me and my son going to daycare, going to school. I was very disciplined. So I tell people that you need to dot all your I's and cross all your T's. I was very disciplined. And I've been out of school for like 7 years, coming back to do masters. I didn't forget the principles of differentiation and integration. I had to start from first principles, going on YouTube to learn. I studied hard because I wanted to be successful. I studied hard. And I had this 2-year-old. I had to feed him, bathe him, play with me. Now at that age, mommy play with me, mommy play with me. I have to make sure I'm there to play with him, put him to bed, do all these things, make sure that there's money for food. Like, I had to do all these things by myself, alone, in addition to studying after being out of school for 7 years. I woke up by 5 a.m. for 8 months, except on the weekends. 5 a.m. every day I woke up, except on the weekends. 5 a.m. I was awake because I had to catch the bus at a specific time. My boss would leave at whether 7:30 or 7:32. I had to be there. I had to bathe this boy, feed him, pack lunch for myself, arrange everything. So I was very disciplined. I was not going about gallivanting the place. Come here, go to the mall, go and be doing. I wasn't doing relevant thing. I was focused. I knew that I wanted to study. And I also had a plan to do a PhD after my master's. And at that time, my funding that the University of Waterloo gave me only covered my tuition. It didn't cover living expense. And I posted a story one time where every time on Sunday, me and my son would be going to church. Our church was not far from our house, so we just walk and we'll walk past the McDonald's. Every Sunday, my son would say, "Mommy, let's go to that McDonald's." I would tell him, not today, there's no money today. We'll go another time. And every time we did that, because when your money is calculated to the dollar, that's how I was living. And the reason why it was like that for me is because I came with some money. But when I came as a new international student, I wanted to rent a private place for me and my son, meaning like a 1-bedroom apartment. I didn't want to share, because people share. When they share a house, different people have rooms. But my son was too young. I just felt like we needed some privacy, not sharing bathroom, not sharing all those things. So I had to rent a private 1-bedroom. I didn't see anybody to rent to me because they asked you for documents. Bring your pay stub, bring your notice of assessment, your tax documents. I just come. I didn't have that. I almost even went back because I was getting frustrated. And
you almost went back to Nigeria?
Yes, because I couldn't get a place to rent. Where was I going to stay with my son? But somebody told me that if you offer them 6 months rent, they're going to rent the place to you. So one day I went to the place and I spoke to the person, and they're like, "Yeah, if you pay 6 months rent, we'll rent it to you." And I carried all my money that I came with and I gave them. We had secured a place. That was what was most important, that we had a place to stay. So that's how I ran out of money. And I couldn't work the way other people would work because we were going to watch my child. And then I finally got a job in Tim Hortons, where the day I have classes where my son is in daycare, I'll go to the job. But at the freeze, at the end of the job, I'll be like a zombie. You walk, I was so exhausted. I'll be like a zombie, tired. I'm like, I cannot live like this. And this is I'm sharing this because this is the reality of most people. They travel abroad and they tell you that life abroad is difficult. So Everybody has their struggles. But one thing that I told myself is that this my struggles is only going to be for a season. This is not going to be my reality. That was when I realized that I need to apply for this scholarship. My scholarship only covered my tuition. I didn't have money for living expense. The day we finally was able to afford that McDonald's, we were only able to afford McDonald's for my son. He sat there eating while I took pictures. My heart was full. I was happy that finally I could finally afford this McDonald's that this boy wanted. He had the McDonald's experience. I shared this story on my page a while ago. Because many people, they say, you make it seem as if it's easy. It's been a journey for me to get to where I am today. Mm-hmm. But one thing I now did is that I knew that if I was going to do a PhD, I don't want to have scholarship where I'm living from hand to mouth. I want to be able to get good scholarship where I'll be able to live well. So I started, during my master's, I did everything I needed to do. They say publish papers. I published papers. I have 10 academic papers that I've published. If you check Google Scholar, you see me there. They say attend conferences and present your research in conferences. I did that. Everything that they said that you need to do to position yourself, keep your CGPA high. I'm not going to lie, I struggled a bit because, of course, trying to get money for me and my child, taking care of this boy, going to school. While my mates were getting like 95%, I graduated from my master's with 85%, 85 over 100. For me, that was good enough because I was able to strike a balance between being a mother and my academics. Then my PhD came and I began to apply using everything I've gathered from my master's. I got the University of Waterloo scholarship. I applied for the state government scholarship, Ontario scholarship. I got the state government scholarship. I applied for the federal government scholarship. It's called NSEC scholarship. I applied for that one. I got it. This is like the highest level of scholarship in Canada. I got it. And I did all of this based on everything that I had built upon over the years. And this is why I tell people that, see, you need to be very intentional to make sure everybody has what they are going through. Everybody has their stories. But you need to make sure that it is for a season. Because some people get lost. And some people say, in abroad, all they are doing is care job. They are suffering. Some people, they come to abroad and they say, okay, I'm going to start with this care job for a while so that I can be able to fix things, maybe apply for a good job, do something. But they get stuck there and they are not able to leave. And you see, they've not been working at that job. Many of them are not doing it because there are some people that actually like to help people. That's what they want to do. But those ones that are doing it because it was a means to get by, they now get stuck there. They are not able to leave and to move out of there. So at the end of the day, I share these personal stories just to let people know that, you may be facing some sort of difficulty. It's only for a season, but you have to put in the effort. Nothing good falls on anybody's laps. You really have to put in the effort. So if you come to my DM and say, no, you know what, just do it for me, I'll tell you, no, sorry, I can't. But for the people that are willing to learn, to put in the effort and do the work, really
now, when you got all these scholarships, did they actually give you the money or they took care of you in another way?
Oh, no, they give me the money. So, the other day, I was like, I should have recorded when I was paying my school fees. So, the way it works is that I have an account with my school. Every time, at the beginning of every time, they are going to credit down my account to say that this is the amount of money that you have in your account. From there, because I'm now a domestic student, my school fees is $2,500. From there, I'll just make a promissory note and say, take the school fees from this, my money that is in this account. Once they have taken the school fees, then the remaining money, the balance of the money, when I'm no longer owing school fees, they're going to pay it into my bank account. So I now have cash. So from there, I'm able to pay my mortgage, pay for my car, pay my bills, do all those things. So the scholarship that I have is enough for me to live and have savings too. Somebody says you can't cash the money, it's only for school only. That is not correct. You can cash your scholarship money. Your scholarship covers your tuition plus living expense. Once your tuition is removed, they credit you your bank account. They credit it into the remaining money to your bank account. That's how it works. And scholarship is not loan. Scholarship is not loan. They are study loans and they are scholarships. Study loans is different. You have to pay back loans. Scholarships, you don't pay back.
So let me ask you a question. You now, for instance, me, I ask plenty questions. At the end of every month, how much is left for you after your scholarship,
Okay, there's something called scholarship stacking. there's something called scholarship stacking. So for me, I have an NSEC, they call it CGS, the Canada Graduate Scholarship. That one is 35,000 per year. Because I have that NSEC scholarship, the University of Waterloo also gives me something called President Graduate Award. So that one from the university is 15,000 per year. Put that together, that's 50,000 per year. Then I also have another scholarship called Waterloo Institute of Nanotechnology Scholarship. That is 10,000 per year. So the total of everything now is 60,000 per year, and my tuition fee is $7,500 per year. I was on maternity leave for the last 1 year, 2022. I just got back to school in September. My scholarship was paying me while I was on mat leave.
So every year you have about 50 something thousand dollars.
$60,000 here.
That is paid into your account. I'm talking about after they remove the scholarship.
After they remove my tuition fees, so that is 60,000 minus 75.
That's 52.5.
Yes.
So you are earning a salary of 52.5 for going to school.
Yes, that's what I get paid for studying. Yes.
What? And people are still in Nigeria. Hey, all of you are in my DM. All of you are always in my DM. Daddy, please help me. I cannot pay my school fees.
Somebody say they pay taxes. Scholarships are tax-free as well, so I don't pay any taxes. Yeah.
7,000 per year or per term? She said it's per term because it's 2,005 per term times
2,005 per term. I'm a domestic student. I pay domestic fees. So it's 2,500 per term. So it's 7,500 per year. That's what it is.
So if you divide 52,500, let me help you divide it. 52,500 divided by 12. You have $4,300 a month.
Yeah. So somebody saying that OSAP is also giving you. I do not apply for OSAP because OSAP is just like the where you can get loans from Ontario government. Again, these OSAP loans, they are giving to you.
Somebody in the UK says, sorry to interrupt you. Remy in the UK says, I need to Japa to Canada. So there is Japa even for our Broderians. Oh God. Someone said, is it a loan? It's like your ear is paying you. She said, no, it's not a loan.
Is it available for international students? Yes, scholarships are available for international students. Again, there are different kinds of scholarships. When I was doing my master's degree, my scholarship was 21,000 per year. No, I think it was 22. 22,000 per year was my scholarship as an international student. When I started my PhD, I first of all got the school scholarship, but I couldn't combine that. So I got the school, state government, federal government. So you cannot combine all three of them. You must choose only one. So the federal government is the highest amount. So that was the one that I chose. If I had the school scholarship, it would have been less than that. The state government would have been less than that, but the federal government was the highest amount. So I chose the federal government scholarship, and I've had that since 2020. I remember when I applied and I was waiting for the results, I sat at the edge of my chair waiting. Because some people, they apply for it, it's very competitive. So people apply for it year over year and they're not able to get it. It's really competitive. But me, I just say that, I do my best, put in my best effort. I talked about all the things that I did in preparation for the scholarship. So I tell people, you have to start before you're ready. I knew I was going to apply for this scholarship when I was doing my PhD. During my master's, I had researched it. What do I need to be successful in this scholarship application? I saw it, and I began to get all those things when I was doing my master's degree. So that was like, somebody said Canada scholarship is not easy to get. I've not even used the word easy here, because that's what a lot of people say. It's not easy to get. Is it easy for you to get $20,000? If you are working, even people that are working abroad, how many months do you have to work for you to work $20,000? Because when people are saying it is not easy, it's not easy. Do you expect it to be easy? I've not mentioned it. It doesn't fall on anybody's lap. You have to work for it. who is eligible for scholarship? How can we apply in the USA? Are you currently in the USA or you're outside of the US?
Somebody
But the
said that
opportunity
is not possible,
for
that this thing you are saying is not possible. I totally disagree. It's
well,
very possible.
they don't want to believe it. But like I said, I did everything that I had to do. I have Google my name, Ewo Mazino Ojogo. Use Google Scholar. You will see all my publications. They have citations, over 600 citations. Some professors don't even have that amount of citations. Over 600. It means that when I say I have that amount of citations, it means that my academic papers have been cited by other academic papers 600 times. And I'm not yet done my PhD. So let me tell you, I did not achieve all of these things by playing. I was not looking for easy. I was willing to do the work.
All right, guys, it's at Zino Ojogbo on Instagram. Zino Ojogbo. ZINOOJOGBO. I'll take that again. ZINOOJOGBO. Someone asked a question as we're rounding off right now. Someone asked a question. Is it easy to get scholarship? How many people get scholarships? Over to you, Zino. How many people actually get scholarships?
So the people that apply until keyword here until they succeed get it. I find that many people even give up before they succeed. And some people will do. I said it earlier that scholarships is a numbers game, volume. Some people, me, when I was very broke and I didn't have money, I started applying for scholarships. I was applying for any scholarship I see. Some of them were even $500. I would apply. Anyone I see. And as I was doing these multiple applications, it came with a lot of rejections. But also, there were a few that I was successful at. But most importantly, I was getting experience. And with every application I did, I was getting better. I was improving. For some scholarships, they'll give you feedback why you're not successful. Some will not give you feedback. I would ask anyways if I can get feedback, just because I wanted to improve. And this is the reason why I got better. So if people are saying, is it easy? Is it easy? Go and work $20,000 in your job and tell me how easy it is. It's not easy. You have to put in the work. So as long as you are ready to put in the work, you have the right strategy. Strategy is very important, and you have the right system. So when I talk about multiple applications, for you to be able to do multiple applications successfully, it means that you need to have a system in place that you can use. Otherwise, you're going to burn out. So if you have the right system in place, you have the right strategy to use, and you are willing to do the work, then you apply until you succeed. And again, there are a lot of European schools where their school fees are very cheap, or the tuition fees is really low. Some of them are free tuition. Some of them, they just have scholarship. You have to write exams. Today, I was talking to one of my employees in Nigeria. He just recently relocated to Austria, where he's doing his master's degree. And he was telling me that he was talking to somebody else, and they were asking him, how did you get this Austria opportunity? And he's like, yeah, you have to write an exam. The person's like, no, it's not for me. I don't want to write exam. You don't want to write exam, but you want opportunity. So really, you have to be ready. Like I said, you need to outcompete the competition for you to get it. So you have to be ready for you to do the work. So it's going to take you having the right strategies, having the right system, and doing it until you succeed. Yesterday, I went to see a doctor. I didn't really have to see the doctor, but she had told me to come. We had to talk about something, but it's not like it wasn't pressing, it wasn't important. I didn't have to. But I went there, and there were a lot of people. I was waiting and waiting. I was just about to give up. I'm like, I beg, I'll just go. It's not important. I will send them an email later and tell them that, hey, I waited, I couldn't wait, I left. But I just decided that, okay, I've driven there 20 minutes drive. I'm like, let me just wait 5 more minutes. Do you know that within that 5 minutes, they came and they called my name for me to go and see the doctor? So just imagine if I'd almost given up to say I'm going home. But within that 5, I said, let me just wait a bit more. That 5 minutes, they came, they called me, and I went to see the doctor. And many people, they give up before they succeed. That is the issue. And they'll come and do 5 applications and they say, yes, I've done 5. This thing is not working. It's volume. It's volume. And you have to push until you succeed.
So, guys, the reason why a lot of you are finding it hard is because you are not willing to put in the work. Many of you want things easily. You see, in Nigeria, you go to school easy. You just pay your school fees and show up in the school, probably sleep with one or two of the lecturers, and then you get by. Nobody's going to sleep with you in Canada. If you like, let your yash be bigger than Ikoyi Club. Nobody is going to touch you. If you like, go to class without pint. Ain't nobody gonna look you. So you are not used to earning things. I know girl wey no go do exam and she still pass the exam wey she no do. Because she had passed the exam in the lecturer's office 2 weeks before. E no work for Canada. Oh. They know they sought lecturer for Canada. Oh. So if you want things easy, this woman told you her story. She could not afford. When all of you are saying, oh wow, now she's from her scholarship, she's earning $4,500 every month to go to school. There was a time when she could not buy her son McDonald's. There was a time when she could not, after she paid her rent, she had no more money left in her whole life. And she kept pushing. There was a time when she got so frustrated she wanted to come back to Nigeria and come and meet Buhari. But she didn't give up. This message is for if you call me and say, Daddy Freeze, I reached out to Zeno and it did not work for me. It will never work for lazy people. It will never work for people that have no drive. So you people think that Zeno, they were just calling Zeno, hey Zeno, Jogbo, where are you? We are looking for you in this Canada. It is only you we are looking for. Just start coming now. No. If you are not willing to put in the time, you will not make a dime. And there's also a luck factor. I need to chip this in because some people do everything right and just not get it. The percentage might be low, but you might just be unfortunate to fall into that percentage. Also keep that at the back of your mind. Nothing in this life is guaranteed.
Yeah, and I would like to also add timing as well. Timing. An example is, let me give an example. If you are applying for a job, maybe you have all the things, you meet all the requirements, the educational background, the work experience, like you meet everything 100%, and you want to submit a job, let's say, to Shell, but Shell is not hiring. So even if you have everything, but they're not hiring, they cannot employ you. So timing is very important. In fact, right now, this is scholarship season. For people that want to secure scholarship for 2024, this period, September, October, November, December, this is when schools are open, where there are lots of opportunities. This is the time where you have to start contacting professors. This is the time where you have to start doing everything you need to do to secure the opportunity. Timing is very important. So if you know that you want to secure any scholarship opportunity for you to relocate in 2024, you have to start now. Because if you now go later, let's say you now go in February of 2024, March or later, when these opportunities are gone, everybody's telling you that, yeah, the scholarship is finished, is done. So you don't want to go after people are finished collecting the money. Go when there's still money in the pots. That's when you want to show up, when there's still money available. And that time is now. Okay? So.
Okay. How far with your PhD? Let me ask. Have you finished it?
Oh no, so I just got back from my maternity leave. I have 2 terms left. Yesterday, I even had a meeting with my supervisor, and because I'm now senior PhD. I don't know, I like to say that I'm senior PhD. So I give my supervisors the timeline. I tell them that, okay, this is what I'm going to do. So yesterday, I had meetings with my 2 supervisors, and I told them that this is my timeline. Submit the first draft of my paper here. Submit the first draft of my thesis in December. They have to display it for 6 weeks. Then they'll bring an external examiner. So my plan right now, I'm on target to finish my PhD in March of 2024. And I was telling somebody yesterday that, see, this is my PhD graduation. We are going to wear a shebi. Because during this period of PhD, COVID, marriage separation, divorce, I moved on. I had a baby. What's that? High risk pregnancy that landed me in the hospital for weeks.
I remember then I was trying to reach you and I couldn't reach you.
Exactly. Yeah. They put me on bed rest. I had a baby, went on maternity leave. I've come back now to finish the PhD. Man, that the freeze. It's been a lot. So I'll say that, man, we'll where I should be when we are celebrating this PhD. Yeah. So.
All right, guys. Zeno Jogbo for you live. I'm sure you've been motivated. I'm sure you are aware of your opportunities now. Check her out, Zeno Ojogbo, on Instagram. Somebody sent me $10 on YouTube. Thank you. Talent Hunters TV, €10. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Zeno Ojogbo on Instagram at ZINOOJOGBO. Yes, she divorced in the UK, in Canada. She remarried, had a child, and went through all this while still going to school.
Yeah.
So get in touch with her. Nothing in life is guaranteed. But if she can do it, I believe you can. You might prove me wrong. My belief in you might not be what will motivate you. But I guarantee you that if you put in your best, you will be able to get something. So once again, it's ZINOOJOGBO. Zeno Ojogbo. Send her a DM now before you forget. Start the conversation before you move on to other things. Hustle, we no get end, no go be your portion. No.
Yeah. Hustle. Oh, somebody is saying, hope you transition into academia upon completion. Well, that was my initial plan for me to be a professor. Because really, there are not a lot of black professors in Canada. And because I am visible, I'm a visible minority, I'm a black woman. So I'm a minority of the minority. In academia, there are not a lot of people like me. In my department, there was one time I was a TA for a professor and I went to introduce myself to him. Once I walked into his office, he's like, "Hi, Zeno, how are you?" I was in shock. So you know my name. So many people know me, even if I feel like they don't know me, because I am a minority of a minority. And there are lots of opportunities there for people like me. Even my professor, my supervisor will be telling me sometimes that, yeah, you know, they called him from one school, that they know that he has one black PhD in his lab. If she's interested in like any of the academic positions, they have some positions available. So that was my plan, and I really, really love research. But let's see, as things are going. Academia is really very busy, but let's see how things go as I get towards the end of my program. If I get into a university that I like, where I don't have to move, because I don't like to move, then maybe, just maybe, but I'm keeping my options open. Another person asked me if I have what my degrees are in. I have a bachelor's degree in chemical engineering, University of Benin. I have a master's degree in chemical engineering, University of Waterloo, Canada. And my PhD is in chemical engineering, University of Waterloo, Canada. My PhD currently focuses on biopolymers. So I'm trying to find an alternative to polymers that are based on fossil fuel. So I'm trying to strengthen rubber by using cellulose nanocrystals from trees. And Canada has a lot of trees, a lot of timber. I remember when my research was brought about, the time that Donald Trump, put high taxes on timber from Canada, and they're like, what can we use it for? And my supervisor came up with, okay, let's get cellulose nanocrystals from the wood, and we can use it for our research. And let me tell you how strong it is. In Nigeria, those engines, car engines, all those mechanics, they'll put a chain across from a tree and use it to pull out heavy engines. What makes it strong that the tree branch doesn't break is the cellulose nanocrystals in the tree. It's very strong. So we are harvesting that and putting it into rubber to improve the strength. That is what my PhD is all about. I've said it in terms that everybody can understand. So, yeah.
All right, my lovely people, I'll give you her DM again. ZinoOjogbo, Zino Ojogbo on Instagram. Do you have an email address that anybody can use?
Oh yeah, I can put my email address here.
All right.
So that they can see it. I'm on Facebook too at
Zino Ojogbo on Facebook. Are you on TikTok?
Yes, so on all my social media it's the same. TikTok,
Zino
Facebook,
Ojogbo
YouTube.
on TikTok, on Facebook, on YouTube.
Yeah.
Zino Ojogbo, Zino.
So I put my email address as well. Oh, I'm a professor in the US. My work is on nanoparticles. We should connect then. Daddy Freeze, I see a professor here. Daddy Freeze, this is your followers there. You have high quality followers here.
Straight up. Mumu no, they follow me.
Oh wow, we should connect because we work in the same area, nanoparticles. Yeah.
ZINO. The email address is zino.enwende@gmail.com. Zino.enwende@gmail.com, or across all social media, Zino Ojogbo, ZINOOJOGBO. Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. Reach out at her, ZINOOJOGBO, Zino Ojogbo. So you heard it, guys. The wonderful, beautiful, and very intellectual Zino, over to you. Thank you for coming, and I hope you learned something.
Thank you for having me, guys. It was nice to be here. Bye.